So good morning, everybody. I thought we could do a fun little video today. There have been some things that have been going on around here, places we've gone, things we've been doing, and I thought I would mix me getting ready in the morning. I'm getting ready to put my makeup on and tell you all what I've been up to. Last weekend was so busy, and we've had a really big project around here as well. So I thought I would just kind of kill two birds with one stone and tell you all about it while I'm putting my makeup on. So instead of stopping to tell you, what I'm using and all the things, I'm just going to list each item here in the bottom of the video, the bottom corner. So if you see something you like, you can go to the link in the description box and get it for yourself. So of course, my hair is fixed, right? But I had to get it back out of my face, and I use these really big alligator clips. Love these things. I use them when I style my hair, but definitely to get my hair out of my face while I'm putting on my makeup. So, last week, we had a huge project going on around here. So, you all have seen outside where we have like a Pollock's wheat is what I call it. The grass, the fountain grass that grows around our side yard that Pollock's loves to run in and now Lola loves to run in. Well, last fall, I guess it was, we put down some like rubber mulch because when the dogs run through that area, it was always muddy, and they were bringing mud into the house because they would skid through this area. Their feet would be wet and muddy, and then they would run right in the back door. So we put down some rubber mulch to try to cut down on that muddiness, and it did a really good job. Like, it definitely helped last winter. But the way that little area at the side of our house was designed, well, we didn't design, it's just how it was. The ground was at a really steep slope, so when it rained or there was any water at all this water was just running down right into the area that they ran through. So we came up with the bright idea of kind of re-landscaping that section there. And sorry, this is really hard to talk and put on makeup, and my mirror's over here, so I guess I should have moved you all over here. But we decided to re-landscape that area and make it more dog friendly. And I want to stop here and tell you one thing about this makeup brush. If you use a liquid makeup like I do, this Il Makiage is great stuff. But I threw out all my makeup brushes a couple months ago and went to Ulta and bought this flat head brush. Oh my goodness, game changer. This is one of my favorite brushes. I'll have the number of this brush linked, but it is big and fluffy, but hard enough that you can put on and kind of spread your liquid foundation. So good, so good. So anyway, after I get my makeup on, I will take you all outside and show you the new landscaped area. But it was something that my husband and I did not have the ability to do ourselves. I mean, I guess we could have, but it would have been a really, really, really big project. So we hired and actually I have a mirror right here just so you know. I'm going to have to look down here for some things. So we hired the guys that do our lawn, cut our grass, to actually do the heavy work. So we decided what we wanted. They came in and did the work. It took them about 3 days last week. But because it was so incredibly hot, they only worked in the mornings. That's why it took them 3 days. But it is finally finished, and we got to enjoy the look of it over the weekend. And then last night, we got the test. We had a massive thunderstorm come out of literally nowhere. I was looking at my phone, looking at the weather for the week, and I had just said to my husband, gosh, we don't have a single bit of rain. It's going to be total sunshine for the rest of the week. Those words had just come out of my mouth, and we heard thunder. About 15 minutes later, massive downpour. I'm talking massive. And all the water, what am I doing? Y'all got me so distracted. What am I doing? Oh, yes. So all the water was running down the sidewalk onto the side of the steps using this color right here. And we could actually see how it changed the flow of the water and that the mulch was doing its job. It was really great. So I'll take you all outside and actually show that to you. So that was what went on last week. And then on Friday night, my husband and I celebrated our 24th anniversary. And it's not our wedding anniversary. We celebrate the anniversary of when we got engaged. So 24 years ago, we got engaged. We've been married. It'll be 24 years we've been married coming up in January. But we decided to go to this restaurant, which is up at Kentucky Lake. It's called Patty's 1880s Settlement. It has been around forever. It is like an icon. And we hadn't been there in about 10 years, honestly. We got dressed up. I had made reservations about a week ago simply because it is summertime and everybody who is on vacation at Kentucky Lake is going to Patty's. It is almost impossible to get in that place. Wintertime too, because they do this huge Christmas thing with all these lights. Like, you're just going to have a reservation. So we got dressed up, we went to Patty's, and I was trying to look all sexy, and I wore my favorite little sleeveless sweater, linen pants, a little bit of a heel. Randy put on one of his new favorite shirts. It's like a polo that has a little zip right there. He looks so handsome in that. And we went to Patty's. Patty's has this outdoor kind of like shopping area almost. There's a distillery. There's like a clothing store. There's ice cream. There's home goods, you know, all the cute stuff. So we did a little bit of that, waiting for our reservation for our name to be called. And then we went in and had dinner. So what's cool about Patty's is, and I couldn't get any pictures because the place was packed. I just thought that was rude if I whipped out my phone. But each room within inside this restaurant, each room has a different theme. So there's like the peacock room, the rose room, I don't know what all they're called. And each room only has like 4 tables in it. So it's kind of intimate, very dark, but you can have, you know, tons of people at a table, you know, if you had a big party, but it was just the 2 of us. So I got the fried shrimp. Randy got, let's see, baked potato salad, slaw. Randy got, Patty's is known for their 2-inch grilled pork chop, and he was like, whoa. We saw somebody getting one. That sucker came out. He said, there's no way I can eat a 2-inch pork chop. That was probably 4 inches, 2 inches. So he ordered the 1-inch pork chop and had baked potato, salad, something, I don't remember. So it was really good. And then we ordered dessert. Oh my gosh. I wish I had a picture of this. They have a whole dessert menu. I think there's 17 different desserts. And we're reading this first one. And we even had to ask the waitress to describe it again because it was like so over the top. I'm getting ready to put on my eyeliner, and I want to point out this specific eyeliner brush. It has a very short, kind of sharp angled bristle. This brush, oh my gosh, is so perfect for, I use a pencil eyeliner, and you can kind of smudge it out with this and make it not as stark because it was a pencil. Again, Ulta. So anyway, we ordered this dessert, and it was a combination of a chess pie, or like a butter pie, topped with, well, I had a crust, topped with Cool Whip, peanut butter candy bar pieces, and then drizzled in a peanut butter and chocolate sauce. So this dessert came out. Everybody in our little room was looking at us, and we shared it, and it was incredible. But after we finished at Patty's, we went down to, I don't exactly remember what it's called. There is a sailboat marina, like Lighthouse Landing or something, maybe like that. And we walked out way out into the water. There's like a little gazebo thing. So we did that, and we watched the sunset, and it was really nice. So that was what we did for our 24th anniversary on Friday night. On Saturday night, we actually went to the Fancy Farm picnic and played bingo with my mother-in-law. If y'all been around for a while, you know that a couple years ago, 2 years ago, we went to the Fancy Farm picnic. It was a whole fiasco. I did a whole video about it. I'll link it in the description box. It is something. Let me just tell you, it is something. But my mother-in-law absolutely loves to play bingo. And this is the only reason that we're going to these picnics, is to just play bingo with her. So we go to the picnic on Saturday, and we didn't go until, I guess we got there about 5:15. We wanted the kind of sun to go down a little bit, not be so hot. By the way, I'm using a cream blush here to stab my fingers. So we got there about 5:15, played bingo until about 8 o'clock. I was done. I was done with bingo, honestly. But we had gotten up at that point, during the bingo playing. We had a barbecue sandwich. We, talked to my mother-in-law. My sister-in-laws were there. My father-in-law. We saw people we knew. We're up and down. But by 8 o'clock, I was literally done with bingo. And the thing is, this Fancy Farm picnic has been going on for 40-something years. I think 2 years ago was their 45th or 41st or something celebration of the Fancy Farm picnic. And so it's been going on forever. And their bingo cards, I swear, have been around for just that long. They are like the old school leather bingo cards with the little windows that you open and close. So you get you get 3 bingo cards for $2. So me, my husband, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, we're all sitting there. Everybody's got 3 cards playing bingo just over and over and over. And at the Fancy Farm picnic, if you hit bingo, you win a prize. You get to pick a prize. It is not a cash bingo. The picnic, I think it's called St. John's Picnic, that we're going to in like mid-September, is cash. The joke is, Randy, my husband, hits bingo every single stinking time. I have never hit a bingo. Never, not once, never. Sometimes my mother-in-law does, like most times, but Saturday night, Randy sit down, almost instantly hits a stinking bingo, and he goes up there to decide what he wants, and he gets one of those flexible kind of water hoses, 100-foot water hose that's soft when there's no water in it, and then when you turn on the water, it like kind of blows up. That's what he picked out. I did not hit a bingo. Neither did my mother-in-law. By the way, this is my new blush brush. Can you see the angle of that? Once I dab on my cream blush, that is one of my favorite things. I just kind of, I don't know what it's called, stipple it in. Just kind of like this around on my cheeks. Love this brush. This was another really, really good purchase, again, from Ulta. So we played bingo. 8 o'clock, I'm ready to go. My mother-in-law says, I'm not ready to go. And we were taking them home, so we had to stay. It was like 9-something before she decided she was finished with bingo, and that was simply because, this is the blush I'm putting on, simply because every like 30 minutes they do a special bingo. It costs like double or triple to play, and there's a really big prize. So like you can win $500, or you could win a new television. Like it's all these special things, and they were doing something she was not interested in, and she was ready to go. So 9 o'clock, we get in the car, we take them home. It's after 10 o'clock when we get home, and I was worn out. All those hours of sitting there playing bingo, that was tough stuff, y'all. I'm going to do my eyes, my eyelash curler. I use an eyelash primer and mascara. So on to eyes here. So then Sunday, we just stayed home all day. We needed a chill day. We hung out in the pool. It was a really, really nice day. Very low humidity, like 82 degrees. We just hung out in the pool, absolutely did nothing. I finished the book I was reading. I read The Heartless Hunter, which is a story about a girl, and it's kind of set back some time ago, although there's modern things in the time setting, like they have balls. They have dressmakers, but yet they ride in a carriage with a horse. They have to light candles for electricity. So I don't know how to tell you what era it's in, but it's about a girl in her 20s, I would say, and she is a witch. So this book was really good. I finished it on Sunday, and then using my Libby app so that I get free books on my Kindle, I downloaded book number 2. I think there are only 2 books in the series. So I downloaded book number 2, and I will read that this weekend in the pool. Randy decided he wanted to grill dinner, so he did a big, huge steak on his charcoal grill. He went and got it the night before, the day before, and like brined it in salt so that the outside edges of the steak would get all charred and crispy. He said when he was eating it, it was the best steak he'd ever made. I'm not a steak eater. He made me barbecue chicken. We had a baked potato, a salad, some Brussels sprouts, nothing fancy at all. I cannot talk and do mascara at the same time. So after I get dressed here and finish talking to you all, I have to make a Heath bar cake. I've never made one. It's my sister's recipe. She gave me the recipe, and I'm making it because my niece is leaving for college on Friday. She's all grown up, headed to college. She's going to school in Georgia. So we're getting together for dinner tomorrow night. My sister and her family, all of us, my dad, to say goodbye to my niece. So I'm making her favorite cake, my niece's favorite cake. So I'll show you all how to make this Heath bar cake. Last thing I have to do makeup-wise, lips. I have a 3-part lip system. These are all random products. They don't all go together, but I love them together. I have a lip liner, my lipstick, and then my lip gloss. And I know I'm not going to be able to talk to you all and put on lip liner. So let's see here. I don't line my whole lip. I just line the bottom right there. And then that top, what do you call it? Like little Cupid. That's all I line. Just a very natural color. And then putting on my lipstick. And I am filming later today, so I'm putting on lipstick. This is a really good cream lipstick. And I can put it everywhere. It just blends into my lips perfectly. It kind of coordinates with my lip liner. And then I put my favorite lip gloss just right here in the center. Not on my whole lip. Boom. There we are. Makeup done. So let's take these down. And I'm going to have to, I think, pull my hair up in a barrette because I went on a walk this morning. My hair was all pulled back and it got all stretched out, so I can already tell. This is going to be a barrette kind of day, but that's fine with me. I'm just going to be around the house. I have a really fun video coming up that I'm filming some footage for this afternoon, and I'm cooking tacos for dinner. Nothing fancy. So there we are. Makeup done, hair done, boom. Let's head outside and I'm going to show you the dog's like new little area. And I know you all send me messages. You want to see more of the dogs. So this is for you. I'm going to take the dogs outside with me. Miss Lola, do you want to go outside? Or you taking a nipper, sis? You were. Oh my goodness, that's big stretches. And these two, they're in here taking little nippy naps too. Because we went on a walk this morning, right, Pollux? And now they've got to get in their naps. Right, Mooer? You want to go outside? So this is their new little area over here. Let me back up so you can see it really good. So we extended the boundaries of this little area. The landscapers put in bricks or stones. They go all the way down around the wheat, and then we have this little wall right here and kind of down the side, because what would happen was when it would rain, water would just gush all down here, and it would run down the hill, and this area would be underwater like forever. So the dogs, when they would come out of the house, they would run through here, run through the mulch, be covered in mud and dirt, and then turn around and come back in the house, which was causing a gigantic mess. So now we put down all of this rubberized mulch, which keeps their feet out of the dirt. And actually, we probably are thinking we're going to have to add a little bit more mulch, because you can see it's kind of thin in some spots. But the flower bed goes all the way down and around the corner where the wheat ends. It's all the way down there, but it looks really good. So last night during the torrential rain, we could see all the water coming down the stairs. It would hit right here, and see this sand from the landscapers? You can almost see the water's path. It would come like right here and hit this area and just flow down around the side and go out into the yard. So this is the area that's now going to be wet when it rains really bad, instead of it being wet in here where the dogs run. Right, sis? Mama fixed it for you, didn't I? And because the rainstorm just popped up so fast, we had all of our patio furniture uncovered. The cushions are soaked. I mean, just drenched. So I have them all sitting up trying to get the water out. Same down there. But Randy's grills didn't get wet. All the flowers are like droopy poopy because they just got beat to death. Hi, Mooer. Do you want to come out? Moose, come on, buddy. Oh, gosh. These guys heard something. Neighbor, something. Pollux. Hey, buddy, can you show them how you're using the new flower bed? All right, nobody wants to show off, but y'all get the gist, right? Gosh, can you all see Lola? She is pooping in the fire pit. Sis, this girl, this one, has a thing about getting her feet wet. That is hilarious. She's something, isn't she, Pollux? So I am going to go film the content that I need to film for the afternoon, and I will catch back up with you all in this video when I make the cake for my niece's going away party. See you in a minute. So I finished my filming, and now we're going to make Heath bar cake. So it is so simple. I have had this cake so many times. It is incredible, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So first you need a box of Devil's Food Cake, not regular chocolate cake. It has to be Devil's Food Cake. You need 1 bag of crushed up Heath toffee bits, and make sure this is the toffee that has the chocolate on them, not just the toffee itself. You need a jar of really good caramel, a can of sweetened condensed milk, and a package of Cool Whip. So we're going to make the Devil's Food Cake just by the instructions on the box. So whatever brands you get, whatever the instructions are, bake the cake. And when it comes out of the oven and it's still warm, that's when we're going to work our magic. So while the cake is fresh out of the oven and it's good and hot, take something that has a little bit of a fat into it, like a knife or something, and just start poking holes in it. Poke, 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 poke. My sister always says, poke it to death. Like you are going to think you're mutilating the cake, but just start punching holes all over that cake. And then when you have it full of holes, you are going to take an entire can of sweetened condensed milk and very slowly just start drizzling it all over the cake. Now the holes let the cake absorb the sweetened condensed milk. If you don't poke the holes, the sweetened condensed milk is just going to roll off onto the edges. You want it to seep down into the cake. So slowly cover your cake in the entire can of sweetened condensed milk. Take about a half or a third of a jar of caramel, and again, pour it on top of your cake. Let it soak in. And then let your cake completely cool, room temperature, and you can finish your cake at this point. I'm actually going to put my cake in the refrigerator. I think it is actually best the next day, and I'm going to finish it off the next morning. Once my cake is cool, I'm going to take an entire package of Cool Whip, spread it on top of the cake, and then I'm going to take almost an entire package of Heath bar bits. Eyeball this. Use the Heath toffee bits to your discretion and just sprinkle them all over the top of the Cool Whip, and then drizzle with about another third of a jar of caramel, and then just drizzle that on top of your cake. Keep your cake refrigerated. Serve it cold. And when you take a bite of this cake for the very first time, if you've never had it before, you're going to get the deep chocolate from the cake. You're going to get whoa from the sweetened condensed milk. You're going to get the crunch from the toffee bits, and then the zing from the caramel. Like, you're going to think you cannot stop eating this cake. Every time my sister makes this cake and we have it for any kind of family gathering, I'm not kidding, everybody gets a little piece because you're trying to be good, and then you eat your cake and every single person goes back for another piece of this cake. It is so good. And it's my niece's favorite. Thanks for joining me today on a get ready story time, what I'm making. You all got to see the dogs, all the things. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.